Umunemunde Enuani Daloli. Chukwu gozie isi so anyị n'ọnụ anyị bụ Enuani Cultural Forum. Nuani, anyị bịakwa ọzọ ụbọchị tata. Biko ọ bụrụ ya dị ka eso na anyị n'ụlọ bụ Enuani Cultural Forum, jụọ ogeni were mkpịsị aka yi. Mkpịsị aka ya bụ isi aka yi. Ya ka isola anyị, ya bụ nke oyibo akpọ subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so that when we put out videos, you will be among the first set of people to see the video. Today we are going to address a very interesting topic. Make sure you watch and share this video. Nye jikọ eneba anya tata bụ nye gbasara n'ụmụ na anyị ndị ọbụla asụwene onwere nwe ji oke eme. No one way to anyway. Nike bụ mkpọpụ. That is, this is for our sisters who are called feminists. Even some of them are already mothers, but they are feminists. They insist that they don't have any need for a man. I'm very proud of some of our sisters who are not even living in Africa. They have successfully traveled outside the country. They have lived there for generations and they still maintain the black man's culture, which is the culture of training up a man through a man. You cannot learn to be a husband from a wife. You cannot learn to be a wife from a husband. That way, it is men who have successfully been husbands that train up their sons to become responsible husbands tomorrow. It is women who are successfully wives in their husband's house that can train up a young girl to become a wife in her own husband's house. How do I mean? I want you to take your time and watch this video. Carefully listen to what this black woman is saying, the advice she is giving to this other lady, and then we'll come back and discuss. Enjoy watching.
So I'm asking you, since this is not a demonstration of a man, you need to tell me what man you're using to measure him with. Which one?
My idea.
Which is your idea. Now, is that the idea you trained him up to be?
No.
Oh, so how in the blazing bejesus are you holding him accountable to a standard that you didn't teach him, his father didn't give him, he don't even know what it is, and yet as his mother, you sit in his face and tell him you don't respect him as a man?
Like I said, it was events. It wasn't just.
I'm talking about
and it's also how he treats me.
Yeah, but hello.
So.
You see, you are a provocative victim. You provoke stuff, and then when you start being held accountable for it, then you start twisting and turning and making the other person wrong. Look at me, Ma. Look at me. Look at me. You just sat here and told your son, who ain't got a needle in his arm, who I'm assuming pays his own rent. He's married to a registered nurse. He's got 3 baby boys. And you just sat here in his face and said, I don't respect him as a man. And you don't think to consider what that does to his heart, to his soul, to his spirit.
I'm sure that's hurtful.
And you okay with that?
And it's hurtful for the things that he says.
But there you go. You're doing it. You're doing it right now. You're doing it right now. I'm holding you accountable, and you spinning. You spinning your web. You're trying to get away. You're trying to get away. Tell me. Just here's the question. Just answer it. We'll get back to that other stuff later. Tell me.
Forgive me. I respect him. He's a wonderful man.
Do you understand that your mouth, your voice, your words are connected to the coils in his heart, to the valves in his heart? He can't help but love you. And every time you dishonor that love, you chip a piece of it. In our culture as black people, when the boys turn a certain age, the men come and get him and take him away from the mother because she can emotionally manipulate him. But since we don't live in our culture no more, we say what we want to say, do what we want to say. We tear our men down and then wonder why they don't make good husbands and fathers. Mothers destroy sons. His mother can speak to him in certain ways that destroy him in ways that can never be repaired.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that video and the moral instructions in it. Now, in Africa, in Igbo land, in Igbo culture, in Enuani, in different aspects of Igbo culture, when a man comes of age, okay, when a man has successfully undergone the rites of passage into manhood, if that man is continually seen in the midst of his sisters or in the midst of women, he is cautioned. The man is quickly withdrawn from among women and placed in the midst of men where he can learn to be a man. The man is also withdrawn carefully from the mother, especially those men who will later become royalty, who will later become kings of their community, because they know the great power the wife and the mother wield where the man is. This man is successfully withdrawn. Even when a young woman becomes widowed at a young age, after the funeral ceremony of her husband, another ceremony is done to select the man that will act as her husband, recognizing the importance and role of a man in a woman's life. This role includes the man playing the role of a father to the woman's children, and where necessary, raising more children through the woman. This is how importantly African culture treats the role of a man in a household, the role of a husband in a household, the role of a father figure in a household, because we believe effectively that no woman can effectively raise a functional African man, and also that no man can effectively raise a functional African woman. This is why most times you will see a mother send her first daughter, sometimes the last daughter or the middle daughter or the daughter who they have special interest in, to learn good morals and character, to her own mother. Yes, you will see a grandmother taking care of her own daughter's children, because the mother believes in the way her own mother brought them up, and therefore sends them back to her mother for them to learn some basic moral principles of the African culture, and then they bring them back. Sometimes these mothers or these parents can be in the city and send their children to the village. That is how importantly the African traditional system treats the role of parents and grandparents. Ofuaka adazonwa. Ofuaka adazonwa. It is also believed that it takes a man to raise a man. It takes a woman to raise a woman effectively. Akanni kwa akebe akwakanni. That way, I want to use this opportunity to caution umuna ndi obo na aso wene onwozi na nwa joke eme na we bụ di we bụ nwunye we bụ ada we bụ okpala we ji ogeni si we jelo mesheshi wepụ aka enwe n'ofe tupu ọ ga-eji wọla aka amado. If you are in the category of people who think that they don't have any need for a man, you are invariably destroying the moral foundations of your child's upbringing. This child deserves to know and appreciate the principles of becoming a man by living with a man. If, like I explained, this woman is widowed, in the African traditional system, a man is delegated to play the role of her husband. Onye ga-akpa ya na nkwụ nke oke asịsị awanye nke oke gbule n'enzo ka ọ na-akpa ya nkwụ. Wesịna mmadụ gbulu mmadụ n'enzo na-akpa ya nkwụ. It looks like he is the one who is taking charge of the woman's welfare and her children's welfare. Sometimes it can even be the woman's first son or the man's first son inheriting his father's wife when the father is late. This is the African traditional system, where this child is born out of wedlock to a single mother. The woman ensures effectively that her own father plays that fatherly role to the child. This is the African traditional system of bringing up a child, so that tomorrow we will not have non-functional homes. We will not have dysfunctional homes. We will not have incomplete men and incomplete women parading around as husbands and as wives in the society. Yes, we are talking about failed marriages, dysfunctional homes, There are some homes that are not dysfunctional, but the function of the man in the home is not there. The woman is playing the role of the man and the woman. While in some homes, the man is playing the role of the woman and the man. Some women brought up by single parents, usually the single mothers, are raised to hate men and anything concerning a man. This set of women find it difficult to respect their husbands. They find it difficult to humble themselves in their husband's home. This usually leads to, inevitably, divorce. And then, when this divorce occurs, it also affects the children. If we must get it right in the society, in the African traditional society, we will begin from home. We will begin with how the male child is raised and how the female child, the girl child, is raised. It is these children that we have today that will later become the wives of tomorrow and the mothers of tomorrow, if we fail to give them good moral foundation as mothers and as fathers. We will have dysfunctional parents tomorrow. Parents who cannot tell their children, this is how life is and this is how life isn't. This is what works and this is what doesn't work. Now we have children mentally. People who are mentally children are now parents. That is one of the biggest problems we have in the society today. In the past, we believe that no fuaka as one. It takes more than one hand to train a child. In fact, it takes more than one family to train a child. Training up a child becomes the responsibility of the entire lineage. But what do we have today? We have children who are now parents. Children who could not obtain good, sound moral upbringing from their own parents are now parents. So, if we must get it right, we must have to get it right from the family foundation. I urge you today as an African parent to take the challenge. If you are a widow, give the role of a man in your life, or allow your children to go and stay with their uncles, your father. But this African system of a woman not raising a man is very, very right. A woman cannot successfully raise a man who is mentally, culturally, and spiritually sound. Now, to wrap up our video, let's look at few interesting African traditional proverbs that treats parenting, family, and then upbringing of a child. The first one says, he who plants maize with a prince will have his own harvested by the birds. This proverb teaches you to make friends with people who are on the same mission with you. You don't make friends with people who are not on the same mission with you. You are not a prince, but you go about making plans with a prince whose destiny has already been decided and planned out, who even has a storehouse of wealth left for him or her if she's a princess. One of our traditional songs says, Mokusine jije wana oyenye ofu ijodo won da fene ko game oyenye ofu ijodo won gbe ine joyoyo oyenye ofu ijodo. You don't walk the same walk as a prince if you are not one. That is what that particular proverb talks about. Let's look at another interesting proverb that says, it means the wandering child will soon be fed with poison, or if not poison, strange knowledge or too much knowledge. Uncontrolled behavior has its own consequences. This proverb is usually used for a child who has a deviant behavior. You tell the child, "Na nwata feko obodo oriensi." And then another very funny one for children, we say, what oku or draw fair. The child that never responds when called will never know when he or she is being called to come and receive. Invariably, it means a nagging attitude misses glorious opportunities. Thank you for watching today's broadcast. I want to encourage you to please support us by sharing our videos and liking our channel. Please like our channel on Facebook or follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and then also follow us on Instagram, and then on TikTok. It's the same handle, Enuani Cultural Forum. Thank you and do have a very pleasant day. Loshoko, naka jikwa mafia omono. Please put in your best to ensure that you lay a very good foundation for your children. Maka no edokwame onwori. Alo ni chukwu ya gozie unu mune mundi Enuani. Ka ọ dị.